right now. Please, won't you take my hand? Here's those emotions when gonna be old like now.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, and thank you for coming out. We are Perfect Pitch Project. We welcome all that are here with us in attendance today, and we are here to celebrate the holiday of Juneteenth. We're going to talk a little bit about the holiday, about its origins, how it came to be. We are also going to play some music that is tied into some of the things that was going on during that time originally, the civil rights movement, etc., up to our time now. So since this is a library environment, in the libraries, our focus is always to educate as well as entertain. So we're going to give you a mixture of both over the next 90 minutes. So let's get started. As mentioned, Juneteenth is a federal holiday in the United States commemorating the emancipation of enslaved African Americans. Deriving its name from combining June and 19th, It is celebrated on the anniversary of the order, issued by Major General Gordon Granger on June 19, 1865, proclaiming freedom for slaves in Texas. Originating in Galveston, Juneteenth has since been observed annually in various parts of the United States, often broadly celebrating African American culture. The day was first recognized as a federal holiday in 2021 when President Joe Biden signed the Juneteenth National Independence Day Act into law after the efforts of Lula Briggs Galloway, Opal Lee, and others. Traditions include public readings of the Emancipation Proclamation, singing traditional songs, and reading of works. Juneteenth celebrations often include lectures and exhibitions on African American culture. The modern holiday places much emphasis upon teaching about African American heritage. President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation on January 1st, 1863, freeing the slaves in Texas and all the rebellious parts of Southern secessionist states of the Confederacy. The Emancipation Proclamation, or officially Proclamation 95, was a presidential proclamation and executive order issued by United States President Abraham Lincoln on January 1st, 1863, during the American Civil War. The proclamation changed the legal status of more than 3.5 million enslaved African Americans in the secessionist Confederate States from enslaved to free. In addition, the proclamation allowed for former slaves to be received into the armed service of the United States. On September 22nd, 1862, Lincoln issued the preliminary Emancipation Proclamation. Its third paragraph reads, that on the first day of January in the year of our Lord, 1863, all persons held as slaves within any state or designated part of a state, the people whereof shall then be in rebellion against the United States, shall then, thenceforward, and forever free. And the executive government of the United States, including the military and naval authority thereof, will recognize and maintain the freedom of such persons, and will not do any act or acts to repress such persons or any of them in any efforts they may make for their actual freedom. An exploration of this holiday would be incomplete without delving into some of the music that makes the holiday what it is. We're going to start with the blues. The blues is a musical genre and musical form which originated in the deep south of the United States around the 1860s. Blues incorporated spirituals, work songs, field hollers, shouts, chants, and rhymed simple narrative ballads from the African American culture. The blues form is ubiquitous in jazz, rhythm and blues, and rock and roll, and is characterized by the call and response pattern, the blues scale, and specific chord progressions, of which the 12-bar blues is the most common. Blue notes, usually thirds, fifths, or sevenths flattened in pitch, are also an essential part of the sound. Blues shuffles or walking bass reinforce the trance-like rhythm and form a repetitive effect known as the groove. Early blues frequently took the form of a loose narrative, often relating to racial discrimination and other challenges experienced by African Americans. Many elements, such as the call and response format and the use of blue notes, can be traced all the way back to the music of Africa. The origins of the blues are also closely related to the religious music of the Afro-American community, the spirituals. The first appearance of the blues is often dated to after the ending of slavery and later the development of juke joints. It is associated with the newly acquired freedom of former slaves. Now, early blues frequently took the form of a loose narrative. African American singers voiced their personal woes in a world of harsh reality, a lost love, the cruelty of police officers, oppression at the hands of white folk, and hard times. In the 1920s, the blues became a major element of African American and American popular music, also reaching white audiences via W.C. Handy's arrangements and the classic female blues performers, among them the big three, Gertrude Ma Rainey, Bessie Smith, and Lucille Bogan. Our first number in exploration of the blues is a song that was penned by pianist Bobby Timmons. The song is entitled Moanin'. Although we performed this as an instrumental, we wanted to share with you some of the lyrics that you will hear amongst the head of the song and the bridge, so that you have an idea of what the composer was feeling at the time that he penned this narrative. The song Moanin' starts, "Every morning finds me moaning. I'm alone and crying the blues. I'm so tired of paying my dues. Everybody knows I'm moaning. Every evening I'm moaning because of all the trouble I see. Life is a losing gamble to me. Everybody knows I'm moaning. Lord, I spend plenty of days and nights alone with my grief, and I pray, really and truly pray, someone will come and bring me relief." So these are some of the lyrics of this song. We're going to perform this for you now. Again, the song, penned by pianist Bobby Timmons, is entitled Moanin'. 2, 1, 2. very much. I want to take a moment to, again, cordially welcome all that are here in attendance with us today. I see some of my friends and family have snuck in the back. I didn't see you. Thank you so much for coming out and also for letting everyone else know that we were out here today. So thank you again. We appreciate all of you. Friends and family still coming in. Welcome. Good to see you guys. One interesting thing about the blues form is that although ubiquitous, it could be molded and shaped. So you could have a blues that, as was mentioned, someone could be lamenting their status in life, but you could also have a blues that was upbeat and happy and joyous, and everyone would just want to just dive in and participate. So consequently, we decided to explore 3 different types of blues for you so you could see the difference between the 3. The next one that we are going to perform is entitled Every Day I Have the Blues. And this particular song is a blues song that is a 12-bar blues. It became a blues standard performed by B.B. King. It has been inducted into the Blues Foundation Hall of Fame as a classic blues recording. So as we perform this one, you'll have an opportunity to see the contrasting difference between the song that we performed previously, the tempo, the motif, and also the lyrics for this song. So we are going to bring out at this time our vocalist, Miss Diane Allen, and she's going to lead on this song.
Every day I have the blues.
very much. We're going to follow this up with one more contrast so you can see the difference between the forms for moaning, Every Day I Have the Blues, and this third blues. This third blues was actually done in 1957, 58, 59. It was originally composed by the great pianist Bill Evans. Miles Davis, of course, is part of his original great quintet, took credit for this song, but we're going to perform it at this time. This song is going to be led by myself on trumpet with Harmon Mute, and we are going to have a solo as well by our flautist, Mr. James Elmore. This song is entitled Blue and Green. White supremacy is the belief that white people are superior to those of other races and thus should dominate them. The belief favors the maintenance and defense of any power and privilege held by white people. White supremacy has roots in the now discredited doctrine of scientific racism and was a key justification for European colonialism. As a political ideology, it imposes and maintains cultural, social, political, historical, and/or institutional domination by white people and non-white supporters. In the past, this ideology had been put into effect through socioeconomic and legal structures such as the Atlantic slave trade, Jim Crow laws in the United States, the white Australia policies from the 1890s to the mid-1970s, and apartheid in South Africa. And unfortunately, this ideology is still present today among some neo-Confederates. White supremacy was dominant in the United States both before and after the American Civil War, and it persisted for decades after the Reconstruction era. Prior to the Civil War, many white European Americans owned slaves. They tried to justify their economic exploitation of black people by creating a scientific theory of white superiority and black inferiority. One such slave owner, future President Thomas Jefferson, wrote in 1785 that blacks were inferior to the whites in the endowments of body and mind. In the antebellum South, 4 million slaves were denied freedom. The outbreak of the Civil War saw the desire to uphold white supremacy being cited as a cause for state secession and the formation of the Confederate States of America. The Naturalization Act of 1790 limited U.S. citizenship to whites only. In some parts of the United States, many people who were considered non-white were disenfranchised, barred from government office, and prevented from holding most government jobs well into the second half of the 20th century. President Leland T. Saito of the University of Southern California writes, "Throughout the history of the United States, race has been used by whites for legitimizing and creating difference in social, economic, and political exclusion. The denial of social and political freedom to minorities continued into the mid-20th century, resulting in the Civil Rights Movement. The movement was spurred by the lynching of Emmett Till, a 14-year-old boy. David Jackson writes, "It was the image of the murdered child's ravaged body that forced the world to reckon with the brutality of American racism." Van Arnouckert wrote, "The trial of his killers became a pageant, illuminating the tyranny of white supremacy." Moved by the image of Till's body in the casket, 100 days after his murder, Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on a bus to a white person. Wikipedia today shows a white man posing for a photograph of the 1920 Duluth, Minnesota lynchings. 2 of the black victims are still hanging, while the 3rd is on the ground. Lynchings were often public spectacles for the white community to celebrate white supremacy in the U.S., and photos were even sold as postcards. Our next song is originally written in 1937 by Abel Meeropol. This song is a dark and profound song centered around the lynching of African Americans in the southern United States during the Jim Crow era. The ominous lyrics portray black victims as fruits that hang from a tree before rotting and decomposing, a similar narrative to the lynching and subsequent disposal of victims. Although covered by a plethora of artists, this particular song gained popularity and attention following Billie Holiday's 1939 cover of this song. This song very quickly transcended into a protest song, which Holiday continued to perform live despite the grave threats she received from angry detractors. Her adamancy to continue performing the song disregarding the personal stakes at hand, landed her in prison, banned her from select nightclubs, and played a large factor in her untimely passing in 1959. At this time, we're going to bring our vocalist, Diane Allen, back to the stage, and she is going to perform Strange Fruit.
Southern trees bearing strange fruit, blood on the leaves, and blood at the roots. Black bodies swinging in the southern breeze. Strange fruit hanging from the poplar trees. Pastoral scenes of the gallant South, them big bulging eyes and the twisted mouth, scents of magnolia, clean and fresh. Then the sudden smell of burning flesh. Here is a fruit for the crows to pluck, for the rain to gather, for the wind to suck, for the sun to rot, for the leaves to drop. Here is a fruit that has to drop.
Our next song was composed in December 1933. This was composed by George Gershwin. It was composed for the opera Porgy and Bess. At that time, he was attempting to create his own spiritual in the style of the African-American folk music of the period. Gershwin had completed setting DuBose Hayward's poem to music by February 1934 and spent the next 20 months completing and orchestrating the score of the opera. Haywood's inspiration for the lyrics was a Southern folk spiritual lullaby, All My Trials. This song is often considered an adaptation of the African American spiritual, Sometimes I Feel Like a Motherless Child. So at this time, we're going to bring our saxophonist James Elmore up on stage. He's going to have a solo on this song. It's going to be led by Diane Allen, and this song is entitled Summertime.
And the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Oh, your daddy's rich and your mom's good looking. So hush, little baby, baby, don't you cry. You're gonna rise up singing. Then you spread your wings and you take to the sky. But till that morning, there's nothing can harm you. When Daddy and Daddy stand in line. And the living is easy. Fish are jumping, they jumping, they jumping, they jumping, and the cotton is high. Oh, Daddy's rich, and your mom, she's good looking, yeah. So hush, little baby, baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing, and you spread your wings, and you take to the sky. Till that moment, nothing can harm you. When Daddy and Daddy stand in line. With Daddy and Daddy standing by. With Daddy and Daddy standing by.
Summertime. Solo by James Elmore. Not too fast. Want you up here, as we'll put you to work for a minute. African Americans, despite their travails, often had the opportunity to enjoy the good times that happened in their life. As was mentioned, you had the proliferation of juke joints, and there would be nothing more enjoyable for a man to go out with his significant other, or perhaps to go by himself and see a beautiful lady standing alone in a corner and screw up his courage and walk over to her and ask her for a dance. And in some cases, that became the start of something that was beautiful. So to pay homage to that, we're going to have our saxophonist, James Elmore, switch over to, what do you want now? Tenor? Okay, on tenor saxophone. We are going to have solos on this particular song by myself and our trombonist, Messiah Charles. This song is entitled In a Sentimental Mood. Elmore and a sentiment solo by Miss Sia Charles. The Civil Rights Movement. This next song was inspired by Sam Cooke. The song is entitled "A Change Is Gonna Come." This particular song was inspired by various events in his life, most prominently when he and his entourage were turned away from a whites-only motel in Louisiana on October 8th, 1963. Cook felt compelled to write a song that spoke to his struggle and of those around him, and that pertained to the civil rights movement and African Americans. Although this was only a modest hit for Cook in comparison to his previous singles, A Change Is Gonna Come is widely considered one of Cook's greatest and most influential compositions, and has been voted among the greatest songs ever released by various publications. In 2007, the song was selected for preservation in the Library of Congress, with the National Recording Registry deeming the song culturally, historically, or aesthetically important. In 2021, it appeared on Rolling Stone's list of the Rolling Stones 500 greatest songs of all time, ranked at number 3. The Jim Crow laws were state and local laws introduced in the southern United States in the late 19th and early 20th centuries that enforced racial segregation, Jim Crow being a pejorative term for an African American. Such laws remained in force until the 1960s. Formal and informal segregation policies were present in other areas of the United States as well, even if several states outside the South had banned discrimination in public accommodations and voting. Southern laws were enacted by white Southern Democrat-dominated state legislatures to disenfranchise and remove political and economic gains made by African Americans during the Reconstruction era. In practice, Jim Crow laws mandated racial segregation in all public facilities in the states of the former Confederate States of America, and in some others beginning in the 1870s. Jim Crow laws were upheld in 1896 in the case of Plessy versus Ferguson, in which the Supreme Court laid out its separate but equal doctrine concerning facilities for African Americans. Moreover, public education had essentially been segregated since its establishment in most of the South after the Civil War of 1861 to 1865. Although in theory, the equal segregation doctrine was extended to public facilities and transportations too. Facilities for African Americans were consistently inferior and underfunded compared to facilities for white Americans. Sometimes there were no facilities for the Black community at all. Far from equality, as a body of law, Jim Crow institutionalized economic, educational, political, and social disadvantages and second-class citizenship for most African Americans living in the United States. After the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People was founded in 1909, it became involved in a sustained public protest and campaigns against the Jim Crow laws and the so-called separate but equal doctrine. In 1954, segregation of public schools was declared unconstitutional by the U.S. Supreme Court in the landmark case of Brown versus Board of Education. In some states, it took many years to implement this decision, while the Warren Court continued to rule against Jim Crow legislation in other cases, such as Heart of Atlanta Motel versus United States in 1964. And in general, the remaining Jim Crow laws were overturned by the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. So, all this having been said, what is the theme of the song, A Change Is Gonna Come? The theme of this song strongly holds the idea of a want for equality and less struggle. Cook wrote, "But I know a change is gonna come. Oh yes it will," several times throughout the song. And this shows his strong faith in people and his belief that one day the world would be a better place. So at this time, we're going to bring Diane Allen back to stage, and she is going to lead A Change Is Gonna Come.
There's an old friend that I once heard say something that touched my heart, and it began this way. I was born by the river in a little tent, yeah. And just like the river, I've been running ever since. He said it's been a long time coming, but I know my change is gonna come. Oh yeah. He said it's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. I might not be, I knew I was out there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change is gonna come. Oh yeah. I went to my brother and I asked him, brother, could you help me please? He said, good sister, I'd like to, but I'm not able. But when I looked around, I was right back down on my bended knees. Yes, I was. Oh, there were times when I thought I wouldn't last for long. But somehow, right now, I believe that I'm able to carry on. Tell you that it's been long, it's been an uphill journey all the way. But I know a change is gonna come. Sometimes I have to cry all night long. Sometimes I have to give up right for what I knew was wrong. Yes, it's been an uphill journey. Sure, been a long way coming. It's been real hard every step of the way. But I believe this evening change is coming. Yeah, I tell you that change is coming. Sometimes I have to cry all night long. Sometimes I had to give up right for what I knew was wrong. But change has come. Yeah, my change has come. My change has come. Yeah. My change has come.
The change is gonna come, Miss Diane Allen.
Thank you.
Regrettably, brings us to the portion of the program that I always dread, which is the last number of the day. We appreciate, again, all of you for coming out, particularly the support of my family, my friends, my Jazz Collective colleagues, and everyone else that has come out to support us today and to celebrate this holiday with us. We're deeply appreciative. Before we get into the last number of the day, I would like to take a moment, please, just to recognize and to introduce the world-class musicians that I've been honored to share the stage with today. I would like to begin by introducing our vocalist. Our vocalist has been referred to as the siren of sound. She's refined her vocal skills under the tutelage of Mr. Joseph Scott. Her musical stylings include jazz, R&B, blues, funk. She's had an independent CD. She was the creator of a live music outdoor lunchtime series featured at Kings County Hospital in Brooklyn. She has performed at New York Water Club, B.B. King's, the Broad Street Ballroom, Grand Central Terminal Balcony, and the Jazz Gallery. She's also done more intimate settings, libraries such as this, Don Cokie Restaurant, Jazz 966 in Brooklyn. She's done weddings, and she was also awarded a certificate of special congressional recognition of outstanding and valuable service to her community. Our vocalist today is Diane Allen. Next up is one of the anchors of our ensemble, our pianist. Our pianist has studied and performed from a very early age. He's a native of my borough, Brooklyn. He has performed in various groups and venues including Birdland, Jazz Standard, and Smalls Jazz Club. He is a graduate of the University of Rochester. He performs in and around all of the New York City area. You can see him on social media. His Instagram page is full of venues that he's performed at, and we are always privileged to have him when he's sitting in with us. On the 88 keys, Mr. Julius Chet. The great drummer Matt Wilson would probably agree with me, sitting in the center, that no ensemble excels without its heartbeat, and its heartbeat is the drummer. Our drummer is an instructor and band director. He spent formerly 18 years in the Hempstead public school system and is 17, 18 years now? 19 years in the Uniondale public school system. He is a longtime drummer for the Nassau Pop Symphony Orchestra and also the Black Tie Affair Orchestra. On the kit, Mr. Ellis Holmes III. The other anchor of our ensemble is our bassist. He is a composer that resides here in New York. He's a freelance and session musician. He is a graduate of the New School for Jazz and Contemporary Music. He studied performance and composition with luminaries such as Reggie Workman, Alexis Cuadrado, Ben Allison, and others. He has performed nationally and internationally, venues such as Jazz at Lincoln Center, the United Nations, Webster Hall, the Westport Country Playhouse, and Editorio Ibirapuera in Sao Paulo, Brazil. He has performed alongside artists such as Robin Eubanks, John Faddis, Dave King, Bill Watrous, Lou Tabakin, Monica Herzig, and Mark Ferber. In 2019, he was the bassist for Lin-Manuel Miranda's Tony Award-winning musical In the Heights, and he has toured the USA, Europe, Asia, and South America, and has made appearances at Monterey Jazz Festival, New York City Winter Jazz Fest, the Bern Jazz Festival, Ridgefield Jazz Festival, and the San Jose Jazz Festival. On the double bass, Mr. Aaron Caceres. Next up are our horns. First of all, we have on alto saxophone, a highly decorated performer and educator who served his country as a military musician touring the world in the Navy, Air Force, and National Guard bands. He's been a band director in the Westbury school system for over 26 years before retiring, and is now spending his retirement doing what he loves, teaching and freelancing. On alto saxophone, Mr. Michael Parker. Next up is a woodwinds expert who has studied under the tutelage of Bob Stewart, Sir Roland Hanna, Todd Williams, Bobby Watson, and he's taken master classes with members of the Lincoln Center Orchestra. He has performed at Carnegie Hall, at Lincoln Center, and in numerous clubs, venues, showcases, and festivals around the United States. He has also performed in the United Kingdom and in Cologne, Germany, on piccolo, soprano sax, and tenor saxophone, Mr. James Baldwin. Last and definitely not least is my sister in brass. She is a tenor and bass trombonist, composer, and arranger based in New York City. She is an alumnus of the University of Cape Town's South African College of Music. She has worked with the likes of Hugh Makasela, Louis Bonilla, trombonist Steve Boret, saxophonist Chad L.B., Grammy Award-winning drummer Ulysses Owens Jr., Amanda Tiffin, Marcus Wyatt, Andile Yanyanya, and Faya Faku. She has won the jazz component of the Fine Music Radio Bursary as well as the first Emirates Pursuit of Jazz competition. She has performed in the Cape Town International Jazz Festival, Standard Bank Joy of Jazz Festival, Arcivia Jazz Feast in Italy, Stockholm Jazz Festival in Sweden, Holmesburg Jazz Festival in Norway. She's performed here at the Blue Note, Birdland, and Dizzy's Jazz Clubs. She's performed in Nigeria at the Calabar Jazz Festival, in Mozambique at the Standard Bank Acadia Jazz Festival, in Switzerland at the Montreal Jazz Festival, and in Croatia at the Jazz is Back Festival. She has her own sextet entitled the Sia Charles Sextet, featuring some of Cape Town's finest jazz musicians. Her sextet is inspired by classic jazz, South African jazz, the bebop and post-bop era, as well as Brazilian jazz. She is currently completing her master's music degree in jazz studies, and I believe just graduated from the world-renowned Juilliard School. On the tenor trombone, Miss Sia Charles. I am Ty Morris. I've been privileged to lead this ensemble for the past 8 years, and I can say with all certainty that it is living the dream for me to be able to share the world with such great musicians. Every time they travel, every time they return and tell me of their accomplishments, their travels, I relish in their accomplishments. And I'm so proud to be associated with musicians that are so talented, but they're even better people than they are musicians. It's an honor and a privilege to work with each of them. So, our last number of the day. Our founding fathers wrote in the preamble to the U.S. Constitution that their goal was to form a more perfect union. Although that goal has not yet been fully realized, we certainly are further along than we were earlier in the 20th century. It is hoped that periodically studying our history eliminates the attitudes and misguided beliefs that have caused division between people for far too long. After all, as George Santayana once wrote, those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. So we will now finish with our last number of the day. This song was once described as a booming song of emancipation. So the ensemble will perform it for you now. It will be led by our vocalist, Miss Diane Allen. This song was made famous by the great Nina Simone, and it is entitled Feeling Good.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. It's a new life for me, yeah. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. It's a new life for me. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. And I'm feeling good. Dragonflies out in the sun, you know how I feel. Butterflies all having fun, you know how I feel. Peace and sleep when day is done, that's how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life, and I'm feeling good. Stars when you shine, you know how I feel. Scent of the pine, you know how I feel. Oh, freedom is mine, and I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life, and I'm feeling good. You're feeling good. If you feel good, let me hear you say yeah. They're feeling good. You're feeling good. And feeling good. Yeah. I'm feeling good. Feeling good, feeling good, feeling good. I'm feeling good. Yeah. I'm feeling good. Thank you very much. Thank you.
We want to take a moment to thank you again for allowing us to perform for you this afternoon. Perfect Pitch Project has a very strong social media presence. You will find us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Reverb Nation. We hope that you will continue to support our performances. We will next be performing in July at Westbury. For those of you that have Facebook access, you can go out and take a look at our page, Perfect Pitch Project. Our performance calendar for the season is out there. So at this time, we want to ask that whatever it is that you do with the remainder of this day, you do it safely as you go back to your respective homes. We appreciate you sharing the past 90 minutes with us. And thank you all again and have a wonderful weekend.